Hello. Hello again. Oh, I don't know. I just love doing this. And I love reading the comments of all the past videos that I've been doing and seeing your interactions. So thank you. And keep the comments coming. It just feels like we've got this kind of dialogue going on, and I can actually share some of my ideas or comments with you if you comment on my videos. So just thank you for playing with me and spreading it, subscribing, all that good stuff. Today, I wanted to share with you about healing and how meditation is actually a beautiful tool to help heal. Now, there's different types of healing that we need. There's the physical healing of how our body could have been hurt, and then we heal that way. And then as we go through that process, there'll be emotional healing too, how we see ourselves, because usually when we have to heal, we're having to stop and rest a lot more, and that creates a lot of ideas. And so there's even the mental healing of seeing these ideas, which we have to learn to let go and love ourselves. And then there's also the emotions that can come up as a result of being hurt physically, and dealing with those emotions as well, or letting them flow through, like be a part of us, part of the healing. And then there's another type of healing, which is strictly just our state of being, and healing from ideas or depressions or anxieties or emotional states too, and the healing that we go through and can experience as a result of where we've been and where we are going, like as our life changes or as our state of being changes. So I want to talk about both today, because you might have come to this video for different reasons and have different needs. So I'm going to try and talk to both, but I think they kind of overlap each other a little bit too. So I might be going backwards and forwards a little bit. Who knows what's going to come out? So let's start with the physical healing. Basically, I just said it. You have to stop. Let's say we cut ourselves. Oh, I go like this. Let's say we cut ourselves, or we've broken something, or we've had an operation, or we have been badly bruised or something. And we need to stop and change what we're so used to doing so that the body can heal. We could have something in our legs, so we're limping, or we might have something on our arm, so we're not able to use our arm as we used to. We might have something happening in our back or our front, so bending motions have been limited as we heal. We might have cuts on our hands or broken or whatever. So then these are limited, and we're noticing how much we used to use them, with tying shoelaces or getting dressed, and suddenly with a limitation, we realize we can't do what we're used to doing. And that's usually the key point. We have changed. We're not used to having these limitations. We're so used to doing whatever we want to do. And then suddenly we have this limit, and it's like that in itself, we have to respect and honor and give that love and healing energy to ourselves, that time that our body needs to heal. We're really bad at that. So instantly our situation has changed, and the peace that comes with this is allowing that change to be okay. Seeing the limitations and letting it be okay, not trying to push through it or go back to the way we were too quick. Otherwise we hurt ourselves, or the wound opens up, because we didn't give ourselves the 6 weeks we needed to rest if it's a broken bone or a surgery. Like 6 weeks, mark it on your calendar and just say, okay, this is my time out. I can only do so much. And we can get super frustrated with that because we don't want to rest. We want to get going. We're such doers. We have things we want to do, and yet the universe just went, nope. And you had that operation, or you've broken your leg, or you've twisted that ankle or cut that hand. And so you have to rest. So part of the healing, dance of healing, there's this game that we're going through, is seeing that you need to listen to your body and love it, and love yourself in that state of rest. You need to go, okay, This is what's happening for me right now. This is what the universe has given me, and it's okay. I get migraines in the past. I used to get migraines, and I could actually feel the days leading up to one when all my energy drops. And yet, because I'm a doer too, we all are, I don't honor that. I don't always honor that. And so then that then fuels the piling up of the triggers that then can create a migraine for me. And that day when I have like, it's almost like I get unplugged from the universe. It's like I've got no energy. I'm such an energetic person usually, and able to cope with so much going on, you know, so that's just naturally who I am. And that's who I like to be. that's my normal. And so the days that I then lose all this energy and just kind of wanted to sit on the couch or go to bed or meditate more or be gentle with myself, I kind of don't understand it. So I don't listen to it. I don't honor it. And then the triggers pile up, and then suddenly I have a migraine and I go, oh, that was that day. That's what my body was trying to tell me. That's what the universe was trying to say. I was trying to say, Jaya, stop. And I didn't listen. And then the consequence could be a migraine. So there's another healing that's necessary to be honored. And so to go through the process of that, then with what the body needs there is it needs help. It needs the rest, it needs the quietness, it might need the drugs to support, or it might need the hot towels to help release or put me to sleep or help my, you know, because often we fight it. So we get super tense, or we don't like the pain, or there's pain. And so you contract trying to protect or cope, and then to relax so that you can sleep or rest, and so that the body can go into a deeper state of healing faster. So we go through our own cycles of this. What do we need to actually relax, to let go, to stop fighting? And that's where meditation comes in really well, because we see the mind wanting to think something else. And usually it's a judgment to what you're going through, and then the idea of what you should be doing. So you get into conflict with your situation and resistance. And so you see the resistance and relax into what you need, and realize that you're giving yourself the greatest love by giving yourself the permission to simply stop and see your limitations and move within the limitations, and don't try to keep pushing the envelope and pushing over. You know, you don't need to hurt yourself. And it actually annoys other people when they see you, you know, or they could be super proud of you. Oh gosh, she's a fighter, she's strong. And it's like, I don't care. I need to be quiet and giving to myself in this moment. And you're not winning more points by getting up and trying to do everything when you actually should be in bed. I mean, I think we give ourselves points if we can cope and push through it. But you know in yourself that time and that balance when you should just say, no, this is for me. And it's a beautiful thing to give to yourself. So, and asking for help. Some people might abuse it a little bit, but a lot of us need to do it. Like, we're not good at asking for help. We're not good at saying, gosh, I just can't do this. Can you do it? Because we're so used to giving ourselves all the credit if we're the ones that do it. Or I do it my way and your way isn't good enough. And then suddenly it's like, well, actually, I need it your way because I can't do it my way right now. So there's all these dances that are happening when we go through a physical healing. And then also it throws up emotions. You know, you don't feel good enough. You feel weak, you know, weak as a bad thing. You feel out of control. You feel like you should be just in a different space. And so again, it's like, don't let yourself fall into this negativity just because your body's going through a healing process. Like, let yourself be okay exactly where you're at, and stop the brutalness of thinking that you're not good enough because your body needs time out right now. So there's such a big story that can happen over simply, I don't know, having a broken leg, or having a migraine, or having fatigue. You know, that's like the rest of it. There's the physical, and then there's the emotional content that follows it too. And so it's like really seeing all of it and seeing that you just need to be present and go through what you're going through. Okie dokie. Something else, and then that leads me, like I said, it's going to cross over. You're going to cross over to just simply emotional healing. Maybe you've gone through a relationship that was not good or had a good outcome. So there could be emotional stuff happening for you. And so there's a healing that goes on with that too. Now, how long that healing is necessary is really up to you, because there's this balance between getting on with it and feeling it and just sitting in it. Then you can sit in it too long, and so then it's ruining your life or dictating your life or affecting others in your life. And so you need to start moving out of it rather than just sitting in it, versus not sitting in it long enough. And so you kind of are in denial to your own healing process of what you need to experience and what you need to release as a result of what emotions you've gone through. So do you understand that difference? Sometimes we can sit in it too long and we kind of like enjoy our own pity party, or we actually get stuff from other people, you know, attention or a lot of support. And then we start to feed off that and in a negative sense, need it, versus just needing to sit in it for a period of time to understand the healing process of what you've gone through and what you need to do with it to just naturally release it or understand it so it can be released. Or even you might never understand it, but to even get to the point of saying, okay, I'm okay that I don't understand it, but I've needed to just go through this period of time by myself, or emotionally feeling upset enough of that so that I can come to this point now of feeling I'm good now to move on. I hope that makes sense. So there's a positiveness of really embracing your emotional side so that you can heal and move. And then there's the negative also of being consumed by it and then thinking there's no way out, or that you get something from being consumed from it. You know, I'm even though I'm not happy and I'm not enjoying the state, you know, I get all this attention from other people. So to have that, I need to be like this. And to me, that's not really healthy, but we're all on our own journey, right? And so we all see it differently. So because this video is about healing, I want to just share that I believe we have to go to the source of all these emotions to allow them to release, and to see the dance of the mind and how we're crippled by it or habitualized by it, taking the ownership of what the thoughts are. And yet we don't need to. And that's what meditation gives you, is the way to change that perspective so that you can actually rest in the present moment into the greatest place for you to rest, and let the greatest rest be happening and healing for your physical form, for your physical body. But also from that platform of being present, the emotions can then come and go quicker. So you don't own them either. They kind of like pass through you. You can see the thoughts that are saying, you know, I'm reoccurring, I'm really upset, or going back to the story of what happened. And so then you recreate that problem again. And so by releasing that, by changing your attention to be more present, you move out of that quicker. It's like you have a choice, and you also have a foundation of how to handle your emotional state and heal from it. I want to emphasize that a little bit more without going into personal things, because we've all got different stuff going on, right? So we've all got stuff going on, and it's fine. That's life. That's what life presents to us. How we cope with that is individually ours. How we see other people treating us is our view, not necessarily their truth, but our truth, our view. Actually, not necessarily our truth either, because it could be filtered or twisted by our ideas of what happened or happens or is happening. So to cope with it, to manage all these things that we're healing, isn't about being right. It will never be about them. it will always be about me. So even the physical healing is about me. You know, like I just said, coping with your limits, being okay with it, surrendering to it, being more at peace so that the healing can be greater rather than, conflicting through the mind. And then with the physical healing comes our own dance and play with that, how we then cope with our limitations. And sometimes we cope well, and sometimes we're in denial and resisting it, so we don't cope so well. So that's our own game. The emotional healing is this incredible dance of seeing where we are at and realizing that if we're constantly thinking we should be at a different place, we're actually being mean to ourselves and in resistance. Because anytime I'm having strong emotions or in a situation that's quite emotional, I don't deny it. I don't try to push it away. But at the same token, at the same time, I play with it to see myself in it. And sometimes when I see myself in it, I realize I can choose for something else. And then it's not to get out of it, but it's to have a more conscious experiencing of it. Because that's my dream. My dream is, and my desire is always to play with God, play with experiencing the present moment more, play with the source of meditation, which is to be present, to be resting in this infiniteness. And so how can I do that in a strong emotional situation, or when strong emotions are moving through me or have moved through me? So then there's this healing process that they keep coming up. And my experiencing of that is that not to deny it. I don't think there's any right or wrong of any of it. So if something gets triggered because that situation happened, but now something similar happens, or someone asks me a question and it brings up emotions, why deny that? There's no wrong or right with that. It's simply the healing process still going on. So even a month later, 2 months later, if someone says something and I start to get all teary, but I'm not like in the story, going back there. But as I'm present and talking to you, something comes up. To me, that's a beautiful thing. To me, that's a way of coping and releasing and healing. So I don't see there's anything wrong with that. And I definitely don't see that as denial, because you're talking about the past, you're in the present moment talking about it, and emotions move. It actually can be really cool because you can actually see whether, you just tear up or you get a bit choked or you start to talk about something and for the conversation. And you can actually see where that's being present. Or to go into the past is to go back into it, and then you might have a real sobbing release, or you get really angry about a different part of what happened because you're talking about it again. So there's a difference there of going back into it or simply being present with it. And even that, who cares? Is it right or wrong? Sometimes you've got to go back into it like 50 times just to kind of deal with what happened, or see different perspectives, to learn, to get over it, to move on, to come in from different angles, or perhaps to go through all the emotions. Maybe you couldn't cope with the emotions when that was happening, so you kind of numbed out. Big deal. And then every time you talk about it since, you might get angry. Great. You might get sad. Great. You might get hypo positive about it because you could see it from a different view. Great. And then again, you might get angry again or sad about it. Who cares? It's your process of moving through it all and coming to terms with the unknown. When you get to the place when you simply go, I don't know anymore. I don't even care. Not because of a I don't care, but because of a, well, it's done. It happened. Move on. To me, that's a very healthy place. And so the I don't care in a positive way, not a negative way, is simply with no emotions anymore. The I don't care is filled with emotions and filled with denial and filled with resistance and filled with judgment. Usually there's still judgment there. Again, who cares really, because it's part of your path. But when you get to a place of, wow, yeah, actually, I don't really care about that anymore. I don't think about it. It doesn't mean anything to me anymore, in the sense of I've learned of now I'm ready to go forward and leave that and let those memories just fall away into the dust or fall away into the air and just blow away. Then you're basically in a place where perhaps you feel very complete. And it's a very healthy place because you've moved through what you've needed to move through. So all of it is actually just allowing. And you are not in control of it. And you can be a little bit in control by moving your attention back to being present while you're experiencing. You can learn things and heal from those learnings. But ultimately, you could come to a place where you just don't know anymore, that there is no learning to get, because you realize the learning is from multiple perspectives or different filters anyway. And that every day, hey, I'm still learning, but every day what you could be doing is just coming in from different perspectives. So it just doesn't have these finite answers for you to grow from. But as we keep moving forward in this dance called life, we basically are filling ourselves up to let it all go, filling ourselves up with all this stuff to be empty and be innocent. Because the reality is that if the same situation happened again, how would you cope? Maybe the same, maybe different. Who knows? It's not actually up to this rule book called life, which doesn't exist, because we have no idea how any situation is going to be in the future. And it's this unknowing that actually allows us to be empty and innocent and embracing all, which means no denial, because that's the embracing of all possibilities. And then playfully moving through the healing of it all as we just simply do. The negative side of moving through the healing, the word choices, is the kind of denial or the idea that I can't yet. So these ideas are really beautiful to see. I can't yet, I can't move on, I can't get rid of this, I can't cope, I can't, there's too much healing, there's still healing to do. Those thought patterns are really, really interesting to see, and then see if they're real for you. Like, is that true? Is it true that I can't let go of this yet? It's not time. Like, is that true? And if I want to play with it, well, then how do I let go of it? And meditation, and the Bright Path meditation has tools that helps us just to keep shifting our attention. And by being playful with it, without, holding on to it and being a good meditator or trying to do it right, you simply explore what consciousness is for you, how to be more conscious, how to be playful with what you're discovering, how to see it and just kind of go, wow, rather than see it and go, oh my God, that again. It's such a journey. It's such a unique journey that we're all on. It's your journey. It's perfect. It's amazing. It's yours. Everyone else who offers advice like this video is basically giving advice for you to simply play with to see if it works for you. And if it doesn't, well, then it's fine too, because there's so many different roads to walk, ways to be, and different moments to explore different things. I hope this has given you some insight into physical and emotional healing, and the mental healing too, is of course seeing those thoughts and making a choice to see them as not real, not personal. And it's a game. I'm very blessed, I feel, because I have techniques from my meditation practice, the Bright Path, and those techniques keep moving your attention. And then when you keep going back into emotions or thoughts, and then you keep coming back with the techniques into the present moment, it's easier to create this new habit of staying in the present moment. It's just easy. It's so user-friendly. It's like direct, easy techniques, simple, makes sense. It's very, very usable for me. But as usable as it is, you see the bigness of what meditation is, because the bigness is actually moving us from believing these thoughts and this chaos as being real into the present moment. And what is the present moment? It's this infinite peace and this incredible contentment that everything's okay. Now, these words might feel a bit used and tossed around these days, but peace in this crazy world, contentment, while opinions are flying everywhere, it's a big deal. I feel extremely blessed and lucky that I actually meditate and have a practice that's so user-friendly that in all the chaos and in all the social media and in all the other people that are doing their lives, and everyone's got a lot going on, that I can feel contentment, daily. So if you've got any comments, please write them in the comment section below. If you're interested in the meditation, there's a link there, the website, go check it out. If you want to speak to me directly, just make some comments in there and I'll get a hold of you. I'm very much wanting to share and wanting to connect and help people. So I think this is a great platform. Spread this video if you wish, if you like it, and I'll be doing more anyway. So I hope that topic helped you in some way. And let's see what we get next week. So keep playing with it and I'll throw something out to you again next week. If you want to subscribe, you'll be getting these things regularly. Okay, guys. Ciao.